Good morning, everyone. The Cummings here. It's Sunday morning. We are off today. We've been working really hard the last couple of days.
Yeah, it's been kind of like a bit, well, not as profitable because we took a couple of jobs with Instacart
Yeah.
that were like, if you do like, what, $15 orders and you have like 40 items,
Yeah.
it's not going to end well for your overall profit. You're like making $7 an hour or something like that. So
Yeah, it's sometimes you hit a good one, sometimes you don't, and
I hit a good one. I did. I hit a really good one.
did you?
6 years ago. Mm-hmm. It's been. I used to say it was 7,
I know.
but
Kinda
that's my
wrong.
California math.
I know the other day when you're
Just
like, we're
not
celebrating
very
our
good.
7th-year anniversary, and I'm like, 7 years.
Whoa.
Yeah, because I don't like being
What?
lower.
So. Yeah.
Yeah. So no, it's not 7. It's actually 6.
Sex?
6. As I act.
There goes the algorithm. It just went
I
crazy.
know. But
All the bots.
yeah. Yeah, so it's a lot of work, and when things don't go as par, that's not good on my head.
Oh, let me see. I'll grab it and you adjust.
Ellen just.
So, as he was saying, as it's not quite on par to what we would expect, right? Is that what you were saying?
Yeah.
Okay.
So
Now you're like blocking.
now I'm blocking you.
Lena who? So, yeah.
Yeah. So we yeah, we find out that some jobs are just not, certain batches or whatever are not that great. But, sometimes you take what you can, and you don't want to just sit around and wait for the
It's, yeah. Because we live in a place that it's not a real big city, so it's a little limited with regards to what they offer and stuff like that. So sometimes there aren't as many opportunities as in a larger city. But
even in a larger city, this ain't working for me. Okay, there we go. Can you sit up? Even in the larger city, because when we went to do some of the jobs on Seattle, when actually we took Amazon job there, and I was looking at some of the things. I mean, it's pretty much the same all around. It's just depending, and I still don't understand the batchery, how it works. How like
what is batchery?
the batches, how
batches.
certain batches, how they pay certain amounts for. I mean, you could get a 7-item batch that pays $25,
Right.
and then you get a batch that is what you call it is like 44 items,
Yeah.
and you get like $17, and you're like, where did that come from?
Sometimes they say it's heavy order pay. Like one of the batches we did this week was like 40 packs of water.
Yeah.
Oh wait, we had one where it was like 10 7-pound bags of sugar.
Yeah, total weight of the sugar like 70-something pounds of sugar. And then this Benko right here had to lift, carry, and move.
And then we had like another 25-pound sack of sugar on top of that. It was crazy. And the 5 waters.
And the 5 cases of water. not fun lifting and carrying. So it can be a very physical job. And then being on, driving all the time too. But hey, pays the bills.
It does.
So beautiful.
Mm.
Isn't she beautiful?
Yeah.
So I started tea.
You did.
Yeah, that should
I could tell.
should help.
Oh.
Let me lock that up. It should definitely help. Because I lost a lot of muscle.
I think his voice is getting deeper already.
My voice is always deep, whether I'm on tea or not.
It seems to go deeper.
It's only been one shot, I'm thinking.
I could tell.
You can tell. Muscles are still kind of like where all my pecs. I mean, I lost a lot of muscle, so that all has to get filled in. There's a lot of loss. And of course, the way I've been eating lately, I'm like all blubbery. That's going to change because now my metabolism is going to go back to par.
Yeah.
You know.
That's good.
For an old man, 57 years old, I tell you.
I'm not going to say anything.
What do you mean?
I'm not going to say anything. I'm not going to say, oh, yeah, and agree with you. Just going to go, oh, you're super young to me. Like a 25-year-old spry guy.
In a few months.
In a few months.
When the teeth kicks in and all of this wrinkly crap goes away.
So, we were attempting to be like plant-based for a while. And then, yeah. But like when we got back together, we were attempting to be more plant-based.
Mm-hmm.
But my refrigerator, when we got to it, and you saw what was in it, wasn't exactly a plant-based refrigerator.
No.
And it was partially some junk vegan food.
Yeah.
Had a lot of cookies and crackers and crunchy things.
Yeah. A lot of bad things, which we've
not
been
a lot
eating.
Of chips.
We've been eating a lot of bad stuff lately.
But yeah, so we're gonna change it up to more like Whole Foods, whole like stalks of carrots and entire stalks of celery. Oh, is that not what we're gonna do?
Not exactly.
Oh,
I mean,
you said whole food.
Yeah, well, I cut up celery and carrots and everything. I mean,
so we're not gonna eat the whole stalk.
No, I just do it in the salads. The peppers and the tomatoes and the scallions.
Whole halves of cows, like we had yesterday.
She had this. What was it called? Carne asada. I don't know what cut it is in English.
It's like flap steak, they call it.
Steak.
Because they had a flap on it.
It more looked like a Argentinian type steak.
Maybe it was like that, but they called it flap. Flap steak.
They call it Argentinian big strip.
I
forgot what it called because I had
Picanha?
it when I was in Argentina.
It was good.
It was
very tender. He was worried that I was gonna dry the
I like
snot
my
out of
meat
it.
medium rare. I like it right on the inside, just a little bit, done on the outside, because that's when you're gonna get the most softness out of the meat.
Did you see how his tongue stuck out? His tongue stuck out. I said his tongue snuck out. His tongue snuck out.
But that's how. And then I don't like tough steaks.
I don't either. I grew up with a tough steak.
Yeah, so did I.
Like my
I used
mom
to
would
pound the living daylights out
round
of
steak.
it. Yeah,
and
about
then
the cheap cut.
She would put like the sauce for the tostones on there.
Yeah.
And it would make sure that the steak stayed moist because of the sauce. But once the sauce dried up,
but even
the
like
steak
it was
was
hard,
dry.
and it was hard. You would chew forever.
It was like.
Yeah. So yeah, I mean, for growing for me, plant-based always keeps me very thin.
Yeah, it doesn't work as well.
So definitely need to.
My head hurts from sitting on the ledge.
Do you want a pillow?
No, it's okay. I'll just sit up.
Okay. So yeah, I mean, probably the meat thing is only gonna be like once or twice a week, and then still do, because I like some of the plant-based foods.
I do too. I think some of the meats and stuff, the mock meats, like the chicken nugget things, are like. But I mean,
right, but that's got processed
plant-based.
and then processed stuff. So I'm
Right.
like not knowing if we're really gonna. I think it's just gonna be like brown rice,
Raw chicken.
No, brown rice.
Raw steak.
No, not raw chicken. You can't eat raw chicken.
A whole watermelon.
That's a small one.
An orange with the rind. Whole Foods.
No, that's not like
The entire head of lettuce. Half for me, half for you. No? A whole, like... No? Oh, like a whole squash?
I think that blonde tint got to her head. That's what I think.
I don't know. I just think he wants to go Whole Foods, so I'm thinking whole.
No, Whole Foods means you don't eat processed stuff. That you eat stuff that's and it's natural.
So
like
like
grain.
So like you have to go out to the
No.
field and pick oats and stuff and eat it, like with the stalk and everything, whole grain.
Not in this day and age. That
No?
doesn't work that way. No.
So we don't have to tediously go out there and
No.
do that with all the seeds and stuff. And,
No. Not at all.
okay.
Not at
I
all.
was a little worried because that was going to be very time consuming for
Very
us.
time. We wouldn't have any time between work and working
No.
out,
No.
So.
But we're going to do oats.
Yeah. That's what we
Rice?
do. Yes.
Because the Puerto Rican needs her rice.
Yeah, well, Cuba needs his rice too. And whole grain breads, to try to keep it low fat. Some nuts and seeds, but not as much. No oils.
No oils.
Oils are junk food.
Well, that cuts everything out then. No oils, everybody.
How does that cut everything out?
Well, if you, like, avocados have oil.
No, that's processed oil is what I'm talking about. I just finished it. She never listens. I talk and it's like it goes over her head. I just said no processed oils. Okay, no oils. Because it's junk food.
Like after the fact. So all those healthy bars that we've been eating are healthy. Because there's oils that keep them
palm
all.
oil, it's got canola oils, it's got all the type of oils.
Can we make our own?
What time of the day was that going to happen? I mean, in the morning while I prepare the stuff and you're getting ready, what time of the day am I supposed to do that?
I don't know, midnight?
No, midnight I'm in bed. To get up the next morning early so we can go to the gym.
So we're not making homemade.
No.
Nothing. We're gonna have eggs.
On Sundays.
Not on a regular. Because if you have eggs, you'll grow like a big old wart or something on your forehead.
Well, it was like I'm allergic to the yolk in the egg.
So egg whites.
But don't have time for that. I mean, usually.
No time.
Well,
why even eat then if we have no time? We don't have time to eat. Everybody.
In the morning.
We're just not going to eat.
In the morning, I prepare the food that we're going to eat after the workout, which is usually oatmeal. And it's been like either our bars. We're not going to bars anymore, so I'm either going to do whole grain bread with a PB Fit sandwich or something. So we have, and for you, I'm going to minimize the food because we want to get you down.
What did I do wrong?
You didn't do anything wrong.
You're punishing me?
I thought you said you wanted to lose weight.
He's gonna starve me, everybody.
Isn't that what she does all the time? Talk crap about me? And it's like, help me lose weight. But then I'm the bad guy.
Okay. So we were watching one of the Olympic competitions, and Cuba has a really fit women's beach volleyball team. The two ladies are just extremely fit. One of them in particular has a really long torso and a really beautiful body. Just, amazing. She's just very fit, right? And then I'm like going, oh, oh. There's certain things that,
Yeah, it's like she
I want
wants
in
it.
life, and
She wants
I
the
can't.
body, and then I try to, with my skills, which
And he's like, I got you down.
people
and then you
pay
went
good
back
money
up
for,
again.
you
I
know.
go, and then he's like saying, yeah, I want to make you less fat or something. I'm like, you know what that does to a person's psyche?
You're the one that said, so I'm like, yeah, okay, I could, because I
So
particularly like
we're walking around,
lean-looking
we're
women.
walking around Fred Meyer. I'm wearing some white jeans, okay, and he just said that don't fit. Why doesn't he say these things before I leave the house instead of after?
Because I don't want to hurt your
After
feelings.
he's like grabbing my belly.
Those are little hints like, honey, you know that old commercial, Kellogg's? Was it Kellogg's?
Pinch an
And
inch.
yeah.
So then he makes me feel very like whatever at the grocery store. And then he's asking me, are you okay? Are you all right? You seem to be a little off. I'm going to go to the restroom. Oh, right now? Didn't you just go? Yeah, I need to go. Why are you bringing your phone? Okay. Reason? Because I feel self-conscious now that you grabbed me. And like, yeah. So, needless to say, he's going to cut my portions.
Or you can stay fat if that's what you want.
Stay fat. Do you hear this person? Do you hear Benko talking to me and saying, stay
Hey, I ain't
fat?
Benko anymore. Not Benko anymore. And that's without tea, because I've only had, my first shot was Thursday.
I know where I want to get to, and I'm not there. So the bottom line is that for me to get where I need to go, I need to drop portions, eat less. He needs to feed me less. Right?
Mm-hmm. The portion that you're not eating, I'll be eating so I can get bigger.
So
that's how that works.
Then I could drop a good 20 pounds or so and get back to normal.
Yep.
Because I don't like it when my husband grabs my tummy in the store and like.
I didn't grab your tummy. I was trying to like pull your pants up and trying to fix you had the thing in your pants. That was like.
And then he says earlier, he goes, I like how those pants fit on you. I'm like, oh gee, thanks, honey. Did you ever guys see that commercial for, I think it was Geico, and it's supposedly when Abraham Lincoln and his wife are in the bedroom and she's looking at her image in the mirror and she goes, do you ask Honest Abe? Don't ask Honest Abe an honest question because he'll give you an honest answer. Do you think my pants I was like, do you think look tight or something? I'm too fat? He goes, and that's what he's like. He's like, well, he wasn't. He didn't say, gee, honey, maybe those pants.
Because see, one of the
maybe want to
things
save them.
that estrogen does, it creates alpha 2 receptors, which creates cellulite, which creates the bug hormone. No, seriously, I mean
that's the other thing.
that's what it does. And
Costco, okay? We are walking outside of Costco. Or inside. Outside. And he has this starstruck look in his face, and he's like, oh my, I've never seen cellulite on your legs before. In the middle of broad daylight, people around.
I didn't say it that loud.
He's like, hey, look. I'm like, honey.
That's what estrogen does.
Honey.
You know, that's what estrogen does. I mean,
it's like, don't you tell the guy next.
Men,
hey, look at her. Look at her. She's got cellulite. Oh my gosh, she's got cellulite.
She heard it that way, but
I did. That's what I heard. Yeah. I heard it megaphone. It was like, you have cellulite.
See,
I was like,
testosterone is the hormone.
He goes, do you want to take a picture? You want me to take a picture? I go, no. Don't want you to take a picture of my cellulite back of my hammies.
That's what estrogen
thank you, but
does.
no thank you. Well, it's there. It's there. It's cottage cheese. I'm like, cottage cheese. It's so mean.
Testosterone.
I'm just being honest. You want me to be honest?
You know, it's like, you all look at that. Okay? 3 months from now, totally different. Totally different. Because that's, you know, this bodily creator didn't like women much, I guess, because he just gave women the raw end of the stick, you know.
Estrogen. And goes, this bodily creator just didn't like women much. Like,
hey, look, you know, I say it as I feel it. I don't have filters. But I love you.
We're walking.
It's like,
we're walking yesterday, and we had this cart that was, you know, those carts at Costco that are like those big, heavy crate carts. He just, yeah. I'll rest my story right there. I'll rest it.
Well, you started it. Now you got to finish it.
Okay. Well, he's like, this lady in another shopping cart, like a normal Costco shopping cart that seats 2 toddlers. Those are huge anyway, right?
Right.
She's like making her way, cutting in front of my husband, and as he's pushing that cart, and he looks at her, she looks at him, and she looks at him, and she keeps going, and he keeps going, and then I look down, and I'm like inches from the woman's ankle. And he's like, well, she deserves it because it's like, honey, you almost hit somebody.
Well, she shouldn't get in front of me and I have this heavy thing that it's hard to control. Full of crap.
Baby, that's not cool. What? So you don't like, you're going to tell me and you're going to care more about her? I'm like, it's not about caring about anyone. I love you to pieces. I'll never not love you more than anything and anything at all, I mean, including myself. But I mean,
you get in front of me.
It's not nice to kind of.
And you're rude. If the card hits you, it hits you. Simple as that. You don't just sit there and you wait. I mean, I have the right of way. She just like went in front, like I'm a woman. I'm just going to go in front of you because I can. And it's
the cart hits you.
Well, if I can't, this thing is heavy, and I'm just like trying to move it so it doesn't like veer all over the place, and I have momentum, you know, and she's gonna cut in front of me.
I just wouldn't want to hit anybody.
Well, I don't want to hit anybody either, but don't get in front of me.
I know, but even if you get in front of me, I'll stop so you don't get hit.
I'm trying to move this heavy object thing that's full of groceries.
See, and then we had this disagreement, and it was like, well, seems like you care more about her than you care about a stranger. And I'm like, I care about you. It's not a matter of not caring. I don't know. Agree to disagree.
Yeah.
But there's still love.
Of course.
And, no, I'm done. And, but, yeah, that's why un genio como este no puede ser mujer. Te digo.
I think they'll need to like translate that because I don't think we have any Spanish speaking people that.
You can translate it.
No, you said it.
With the type of like attitude and personality that this person has, there's no way this could be a woman. I'm just saying. I mean, there are.
And there's going to be women out there going, well, what are you talking about?
I know. It's like stereotyping and stuff like that but, you know, there are stereotypes of certain, you know, I mean, a majority of different people are a certain way in a certain sex classification.
Oh, wow. Water here is so good. We have lake. The water is really
Does it taste like fish?
No.
Oh.
But sometimes it has that fishy smell, like when the fires were going on, it had like this fishy smell to it. Listen, I am who I am. I can't, and I won't make excuses for my behavior. I'm a kind-hearted, loving soul.
That you are.
But don't push my buttons. Don't do things that, you know, I find to be inappropriate because you will feel my wrath. Simple
In that tone, too.
Yes.
You
Goes how it goes. You know.
I love you. I mean, I think that
You think I'm
it's
hot?
part of what?
You think I'm hot? Do you think I'm hot?
I thought you were making a statement.
I kind of was, but then I made it into a question because I know that this is what you fell in love with.
What is not to think that's not hot about you? I mean, your hotness walking around. I mean, that's not even something to be questioned. And most people on here would agree with me. Right, ladies. And others. Because he is hot, you know, and, you know, I mean, he's not he's not a bad guy because he's not like a bad person per se, right? Like in the category of people. He's a good person. But you just don't want to get him ticked off.
Nope.
It just doesn't.
I'm Cuban and I have a Cuban temper, and that's how it goes. You know?
So imagine my. I don't know what to say there. Being appalled or disbelief or dismay or whatever it is when I saw something else coming out of a trailer in Apache Junction. I was like, that is not you. That's not you. I know you, and you are a strong, you know, determined, purposeful, passionate guy with masculinity that exudes over most men I've ever met or ever seen walking around the planet, you know.
Yeah.
And that's something that so many people just can't get a grasp of, and I can't understand how that can happen, but that's why, you know, that's why gender differences are what they are, and why, you know, people like you and I exist. You know, we kind of break the mold.
And people don't get it. You know, they don't understand it. It's even hard for us to get at times. Like, one of the things I've discovered is I have a little boy inside of me. You know, that I have this because I wasn't ever seen or allowed to be who I am. And there's this little child that wants his mommy, that needs love and attention, and and then there's the other part of me, the man that is old fashioned and knows what he wants, and
I think it's generational. I mean, it's like born in 64, born in 70, we were born into these societies that were still structured very much like the 50s, and, I mean, that was kind of like the life that people were living back then.
right.
We were raised in that. So it's kind of hard to break that mold. Like, I remember, like, my mom had sisters who were more independent and the other ones that were more like domesticated, right? In the sense of how they looked at life. There were the younger generation, they were more like women's lib, they were more like, no, don't let no man tell me what to do. They were divorced. One of my aunts was divorced, another aunt was divorced, husband left for another woman, and then there were the older generation women that were supportive of their husbands, even if their husbands cheated on them and stuff like that. But they still like had this sense of allegiance to their husband. And there's like two different generations going on there, and it's not that the older generation was bad, was wrong in how they lived, because there's so many beautiful things that came from that generation, that understanding of roles in the family and in home life and in a marriage, and how things were structured, and there was just a beautiful flow, right?
Which we've lost this day and age.
Which now with the two-person household, two income earning households, where the dad or mom take turns dropping off the kids at school, and then dad goes to work, mom goes to work, mom comes home. It's like my mom and dad, they worked, right? Both of them.
Yeah.
But my mom was very domestic when it came to coming back home.
Right.
I never saw my dad clean the floors or anything like that. He was doing, man's work. Like, he would cut the grass. He would.
Yeah, it's very innate. It's like with me, I don't let you lift anything heavy. I do all the
Right.
lifting. I do all the carrying. I do all the stuff because I find that I open doors for you. I'm very old fashioned that way, and I don't care who criticizes me. I don't care who doesn't like it, because it's me.
And we're just old people,
Yeah.
right? We're just like, we're that generation,
Yeah.
right? We're still remnants of that older generation, and we still hold some of those values, which would seem to be like, how can you allow that, or why can't you assert yourself, and and it's
Where
like,
has it gotten people this day and age with this whole modern mentality? Seriously, I mean,
well, there's going to be people that are going to be very disgusted to hear it, and stuff
fine.
like that.
That's fine. I mean, they're entitled to their opinion, but how are they living their life? Many women, they get pregnant, they have babies, and they have to go back to work after 3 months, because that's all you get is 3 months of leave, maternity leave. Then they have to stick their kid in some sort of daycare, and then the kid gets sick from all being around other kids, and the state raises your child, not you, and the child doesn't get what it needs, which is being with mom, and I mean, just it all. I mean, look at all the neurological impairments we are seeing this day and age. Majority of kids have ADHD. They have Asperger's. They're in the autistic spectrum. I mean, it's just all you have to do is remove your veil and look at what's happening in the world.
Yeah, I mean, kids with a lot less attention spans.
Yeah.
I mean, it's like, just watch any TikTok video these days, or
I know.
short, like, how people talk. It's like,
Yeah. They're
and
not
then change
able.
of mind.
Yeah.
It's like, instead of like the long, like, ability to just like demonstrate and speak in a way that's not just concise, but it can, I mean, just very descriptive, and I don't know, it's just different.
Yeah.
Just go to TikTok, any of the other social media young people sites.
Majority of kids are depressed. I mean, back in the day, depression in a child, you didn't see that. Nowadays, the majority of kids are depressed. They're unhappy. They're like, I mean, it's not a natural way of living the way that we're living.
And it started a long time ago because, I mean, I remember, when the Nintendo generation started playing on their Game Boys and stuff like that, they were just all like into the screen, and, people would come to the dinner table and the kids would bring their Game Boys and sit there, and they're absolutely not communicative. And it's just gotten worse and worse and worse over the years where, you don't see kids playing outside as much anymore. You don't see the neighborhood filled with activity outside and kids playing and jumping around, and
It's a different world.
they're just all indoors. They're all on their virtual screens. They're all in their virtual worlds. And, I mean, even this world right now is a virtual world that we're in on social media. And a lot of people just don't have contact with the outside world. And the pandemic has made it even worse because it's put fear into people that they shouldn't go outside.
I know. It's
even
not
to wear
natural.
a mask inside.
Yeah, it's not natural what's taking place, and there's a reason behind what's being done. From the moment the women's lib started, it was there for a reason. Remove the root, because a woman is like the root of a home. As much as the man is in control in the head of that family, the woman holds a very important role, and she takes care of that home, upbrings the children to have good values, to have she is very important. Well, I mean, women's lib movement knew what it was doing by picking the woman out of the home, sending her into the workforce, fighting with all this equality stuff in their head, and then what? Then is what we're seeing today. That whole household has crumbled because the root was destroyed. And people don't get it, and people will put me down and call me all sorts of names. But all I have to say to you is look around you. Do you find the life that you're living normal? Does it feel good to you to have to get up early in the morning, do all the things that women do, then go and make money? I mean, you've been given the raw end of the deal, and you don't even know it. You don't get to spend time with the baby that you carried 9 months. You have to send that child into some sort of daycare or hope that you have a mother or a grandmother or somebody who will take care of that kid for you. Then you come home all tired and you don't have the energy to deal with the things that you have to do. You call that independence? I call that slavery.
Well, that's why people are like, thank God for Instacart, thank God for like Costco and pre-made meals.
Yeah.
Like you can like just buy. We bought somebody's meatloaf yesterday. It's already pre-done.
Pre-done.
All they have to do is
sodium filled.
heat it up, and it's ready to go.
I mean, if you look at all those TV dinners that was actually came around the
filled with
time
sodium.
where the women's lived, so they were sending women out, so all she had to do was stick it in the microwave. You are being poisoned and don't even know it because you don't have enough time.
We looked at some of the sodium content of some of these frozen meals, and although they're quick, they're easy, they're fast, they're sometimes good, 1,500 milligrams of sodium, 1,800, 2,000
daily
milligrams.
intake is 2,000. No wonder people have high blood pressure. No wonder people have diabetes. No wonder people get strokes and heart attacks and the big C word, because you're not feeding yourself properly and you're run by stress. Your cells can't handle that. So call me old-fashioned, call me a dictator, call me whatever it is that you want to call me. There's a method to my madness. And I hope you see that now, because before you were like, oh, he's this, oh, he's that, he's done all sorts of terrible things.
What?
Before you
I did?
Yeah, you did.
Recently?
When we broke up. Yes.
Oh. Yeah, because I didn't understand purpose and what your madness was about. I didn't understand that. I thought, I thought it was controlling and,
How do you think now?
Well, everyone, he's not pinching me.
My hands are here and the other one's holding
He's not
the selfie stick.
grabbing my leg and twisting it into a knot. I think much differently about it now. Some of the things that I did say back in the spring, I look now at what I said and everything, and I just see a different purpose for why you were doing what you were doing and why you were acting the way you were acting. And a lot of it is just like, it's old programming that I needed to break free from in my own socialization, how I was raised to be. I was raised to be this assertive, like, person that was in charge, and I failed miserably at it. I was never good at it, and it was something that did not come naturally. So I could see where it's so necessary for a man to be that way, because a man is supposed to be assertive, is supposed to be strong, is supposed to be independently motivated and passionate and always be in control. I mean, it's like when I was a freelancer working in television, the best freelancers were always the real aggressive alpha ones, and that goes across the gender board, because women had to be assertive too in that environment, because it's a dog eat dog world, right? But it's very dominated by that mentality. And if you were at all like my personality, it's like, oh yeah, well, you're not going to get the best jobs, So.
Yeah, and then seeing that you almost got yourself killed with the
Well, it's just that whole concept of, like, I was being told, oh, now you're free from Mark and you're able to spread your wings and set up your home and have people over and make dinner parties and enjoy life and live life, live, love, and learn and just, relax and finally just be your own independent woman. And it's like, I don't know how to be independent, I don't even know how to not depend on someone for help, because I don't have tools in my life.
That's why she gets the credit cards all the way and whatever, and it's just like, I have a very good financial mind, when to save, when not to buy, when to get things when needed, not just because you want them or because you can. Because then that credit card just like goes up and up and up and up, and then eventually you have to pay for it,
Or just making good decisions. Like, I would sometimes, like when I was doing stuff by myself with the delivery apps and stuff, I was just taking like everything. And sometimes, I would take the $3 McDonald's order and then I'd be like, well, maybe somebody needed my help. I don't know. And then you realize that it's really hurting you and not helping to, make your life better, because you're working.
And you're
for
working
peanuts.
way too many hours, where you get tired, and then you have accidents because you fall asleep on the wheel.
Oh yeah, that.
Yeah, that. Yeah.
That's yeah, but that comes from not being able to be independent. There's some people, and hats off to you. You guys, awesome, wonderful. But some of us just can't live on our own. I need you. I need you for support, for love, for guidance, to help me make better decisions, with my time. My time management skills are
not the greatest. But I love you, baby girl, and I need you. I need your love. I need your respect.
Yeah. And you have it. You know you have
The little
it.
boy inside needs mommy. Man needs his wife.
And that's the thing, you know, before he would be like, oh, my shoulder, or oh, my arm, or oh, my that. And I'd be like, oh my gosh, this guy only does complain about his body and his stomach or something. And now it's just so different. It's just like when he hurts, it's hurting me. You know, when I hear him say something that he's in discomfort, it's like, how can we make it better, babe? How can we, what can I do to help you? You know, and, you know, I told him, I said, it almost feels like, like, like those Bactine commercials. You guys remember? I don't know, I'm kind of dating myself, but it's like back in the 70s and 80s, there were these commercials where the little boy got skinned knee or something falling out of a tree. Of course, kids don't climb trees anymore, so they couldn't make that commercial anymore. But this kid fell out of a tree or something, skinned his knee, and he's like, "Mommy, look!" And she's like, "Oh, let me help you." And she's like, "Let me get the Bactine, rub the pain out. You know, this is gonna sting a little bit, and that whole thing." And it was like,
And as
now I know, like, I feel that feeling of like, almost like feeling like I want to mother him, in the sense of like him being a little boy, in the sense of wanting him to not suffer. Right?
and I know many of you out there are probably puking by now because you don't get it, but it's the facts of life. It's the way it goes. I mean, men can be big babies, and we have a little boy inside of us that needs nurturing, needs loving. If we hurt, and the reason we hurt is because we're picking the heavy stuff, not letting the women pick it up, and being chivalry and opening doors and doing all these things.
That's why men don't last as long.
Yeah, because,
they do the heavy lifting in life.
So
most of them.
Yeah, and then it's just, and again, you all don't have to agree. You can think whatever it is that you want, but this is our opinion. This is our life. This is
our channel.
this is how we live, and I'm not going to apologize for who I am.
And those that, this is meant for, you'll understand what we're talking about. You'll understand and appreciate what we're saying. But, for those of you with a chip on your shoulder and a certain skewed view of looking at life, obviously you're not going to agree. And,
that's okay.
That's why it's easy to unsubscribe and go to another channel, because, it's not for you, right? But if you want to hear from two people who have experienced life from both sides of the tracks and have experienced so many things that are unique to our existence, that isn't common for most other people to ever have to deal with, then, stay around and listen a bit, You
might learn something. Who knows?
You might, see a different way of looking at life,
I know that I love being old-fashioned. I know that I like being who I am, and I don't want to change. I don't want to end up, I'm stubborn. Yeah, I'm stubborn.
It's good though. It's good because, he knows what he likes. He knows what he wants. He has drawn the line in the sand from the very beginning, from the time we even got together. I knew that he was the alpha, and I was still very uncooked as a human, in my transition as a trans woman. I was like really just trying to make sense of everything, and yeah, we were talking about it, and like when we met, I was in the middle of life just trying to figure my transition out and what was going to happen and what that meant for my existence,
and then,
because it redefines all the borders in your life, all the things that you thought were a certain way, or you were culturally raised or socialized to accept and to be this or that. You have to really just kind of like put it all out there and go, okay, no, okay, no, no. And then you have to like decide what kind of person that you're going to be, because yeah.
And see, that's what messed with my mind a lot, and that's why the detransition journeys, because I was trying to like fit things in my head and trying to understand, and I was like, well, maybe I'm not a man. Maybe I,
Oh, he is a man.
maybe I just need to like, because there was just so much confusion.
A person that inspired so many to transition, right? A person who was like on a pedestal. So many people I've heard over the years. Oh, Mark, you inspired me. I looked to you for guidance, and I saw that you were strong and you did something, and it was like, and the way you live your life, and so many emails, so many comments on YouTube. I mean, still answering that old National Geographic that you did with your ex girlfriend and stuff. It's like, and people would ask honest questions, and, of course, you had the Christians always coming after you with that video.
Yeah.
But, you were always like looked up to that way. And I feel bad that meeting me caused you to lose that place in the trans community where people looked up to you and they were looking to you for answers and asking you questions and constantly trying to pick your brain. I mean, I feel bad, but I mean, it's just one of those things. I mean, I was in the middle of life and we met, and we've been through what we've been through. It's been difficult. It's been good times. There's been really tough times. There's been a lot of confusion. A lot of things have been taking place in our lives and stuff, but I'm just so glad that we're past all of those things, that we're like on the other side of this, all of it.
Yep. And it's been actually 52 minutes.
Wow, so we'll go for a cool hour. Make it even.
So we gotta do laundry today and wash the car because it gets filthy out here. And then I'm debating we should eat the pancakes first or go take the stuff and do. No,
He's
actually,
debating
I need to
not
eat first.
eating.
No, I need to eat because I need to put muscle on. I'm not going to do that.
He doesn't want to eat.
That's all right. No, I do want to eat. I want to put muscle on. But I'm just like,
He
by the
doesn't want
time
you to eat. He's like, I think I'm gonna eat by myself, and you could just cook it for me.
See, now she's spreading lies, and that's what she does.
No, I don't. I'm just kidding. I'm not serious. Oh, look at pancake. Somebody had pancake.
Yeah.
We're gonna have pancakes today. I bought some
Protein pancakes.
protein pancakes at grocery outlet
I
the
love
other
pancakes.
day.
That's one. I love to make pancakes. I make really good pancakes, but I'm gonna let her make it today. And eggs. Because you want to make them. Because you want to make them.
I do want to make them.
I'm usually.
He makes really good ones.
Yeah. But, pancakes, eggs. That's it.
Do we have a mock meat of any kind? No?
Do we have
No, we used all those sausages.
We did. And we have hot dogs, but I don't like hot dogs.
They're Nathan's beef.
I know, but hot dogs, oh, yuck. I mean, it was one thing if there was sausages, but...
What's a hot dog? Isn't it a sausage?
No, it tastes different. It's alright, just eggs and pancakes. Watermelon, too. Cut up.
That's for later in the evening, isn't it?
No, or we could eat the watermelon for this morning and then have the pancake later when we come back from there's a fruit in the morning.
Okay.
Yeah, fruit in the morning. We'll have our watermelon, and then we'll go do that. We'll come back and we'll have.
You just want to not eat.
Watermelon is fruit and it has a lot of sugar in it. So we'll have some watermelon, and then
I was already in the kitchen with the skillet.
Did we do that when we come back with the
I was
clothes?
there in my mind.
You know,
I was
it's
there.
like there's like
Now it's not there.
watermelon,
I
laundry,
didn't say no.
car wash, and come back, and then we'll have the pancakes. Relax. Does it have to have pancakes? You think I want to go out there and go and do anything? No. Today's our day off too. So, okay. All right, guys. Another day in the Cummings life. Mark the a-hole, and
No.
I mean,
He just knows what he wants.
I know what I want, and
Like,
I
he
know what's right,
decides.
and I know what is going to be better for the body, and that's how it goes. I mean,
That's fine.
you don't want to eat watermelon later in the evening, you're going to pee all night. So you need to want the fruit. Advice for everybody: fruit in the morning, because it's detoxifying, and it's when you're supposed to eat, because then your insulin level gets too high, and that's not good. That's what happens. You have diabetes and problems.
Another thing. We recently had a conversation. We were driving back from Washington. We're driving back from Seattle, Olympia, and I said something where it used a certain word that says F and then a U and then a C and then something about something that I was talking about, and he goes, I really don't like you using those words, right? And I go, that's the best way to communicate what I'm feeling about a certain situation, right? And he goes, yeah, but it just doesn't look good. And I go,
Cursing
okay,
doesn't look good on anybody.
Can I use frick? And he goes, yeah. And I go, can I use fudge? Yeah. Can I go friggin'? So everybody, I have 3 words that I can use now in exchange for that one.
Which is a very horrible word. I mean, I don't think. First
I
of
don't
all,
usually use it. It's
again,
only
old-fashioned here, and you're gonna all have a
hissy fit.
Yeah. I don't think women should be using the word F. It sounds disgusting. I mean, I don't even think men should be using that word. But men have mouth like truck drivers. When you have a woman that has a mouth like a truck driver, it doesn't look appealing. It's not very. I mean, for me personally, I don't think it.
What was it, that thing we were watching? Athletes that were competing. I think they were with a men's team or something. Remember? And she said that after hanging out with them, she started talking
cussing,
like
yeah,
them.
I forgot what it was, but
and
yeah.
she's like, I can't believe that, that's how I was talking, and it just really, you just become a part of that environment.
Yeah, it's wrong. I mean, no one should be cursing because, I mean, we need to learn to communicate with proper words. There's no need to use that. But a woman cursing is not appealing. It's not appealing at all. And it's just...
So needless to say, I'm using the word fudge, friggin', and what else?
Fudge, friggin'.
Frick.
Yeah. Again, I have the reason behind my madness. I know what I like, what I don't like. What is that?
Old fashioned.
Oh. And it is what it is, And there's a reason behind it. And every time you follow the path that I put you on, there's good things. Your body starts to look good. Your
body looks great right now.
Your finances.
My body looks great.
Do we want to show a little budge? No, we don't want to show a little budge.
It's not that bad.
No, it's not as bad as you've had it before. Every time we break up, it goes haywire. But
it's because I can't live without you, babe. I fall apart, literally. And it's insidious because it's subconscious. It's like it takes place without me being aware. But inside, I'm just, incomplete without you.
But anyway, I'm going to get up my neck.
Doesn't believe me.
I believe you. I believe And I know all of you are going to have a field day.
It's all good.
A field day, you know.
Can't please everybody.
I know, but
Can't.
it is what it is, you know. Hope you guys have a great day, and find your inner voice. Listen to some of the videos that I do in the morning when the higher self speaks. It's always funny because when I allow my higher self to speak, it just flows and there's always something to say. When I'm not in that mode, it's hard for me to find things to say.
It's like I'm getting ready and stuff, and then I'm in the bathroom, and I hear him like starting to talk, and I'm like, wow, that's really. And then I'm like, so what did you say? Like, do you remember? And or I asked him something about what he said. He's like, I just like channeled this stuff, and it's like I don't even know what I'm supposed to say before. I just go, okay, all right,
allow my higher self in,
record, and boom, and then I'm like, wow, that's a really good point,
And that's what leads my life is my higher self. That's my nutritional, my every aspect of my life, my finances, everything that I do, everything comes from my higher self. I tap in when I need an answer to something, and that's why I may sound arrogant to half of you. I may sound whatever, but it's coming from my higher self.
And the beautiful thing is that that anybody can.
Oh, everybody can do that. I'm not special. Everybody can do that. Just people choose to give their powers away and not tap into your higher self. So that's why when I say something and I'm like, I know it, and it's not because I'm being arrogant. It's because my higher self told me this. This is what we're going to do. This is what I don't. Every time I go against it, bad things happen.
Yeah, we had that happen one time. Like when we were out and about. It's like, oh, I just had. Oh yeah, with Amazon, right? He just had this like. I don't
want to do it.
So.
I want to do it.
I go, baby, can we just do it like one time? I just wanted to show you. We ended up getting that big order of like 48 packages, and it was like one of the most stressful days of his life driving.
And I could have gotten into an accident. I could have hurt someone. Someone could have hurt us. I was not when I don't feel good about something, I say nope, don't want to do it. There's a reason behind it.
And we did it, and he's like,
see,
never again.
Yeah.
Never again, because it's like unrealistic what they expect out of human people.
Yeah.
And that's two people.
Yeah. Imagine one person.
Imagine one person doing
11
that.
o'clock at night doing.
And that's what happened to me when I got in my accident.
Yeah, exactly.
I was like, I had a shift from 4:15 to 9:15. I was still out in the rain at 11 o'clock at night, delivering packages. Yeah. And then I had 4 that were not deliverable because the offices were closed. You couldn't find the mailroom. So I'm having to go back to Everett, Washington to drop off the packages. And that's when I emotionally already, and on top of that, tired from making,
I always listen to my higher self, and I always go into the path of least resistance, and I have my ways,
and I used to be resentful of that, and I think part of it was because I was envious of him, because everything in his transition had come so easily. And I remember talking to him, like we were in Silver City, and it was just like maybe 3 months into our relationship, and I'm like, you could be stealth. You could just not have to deal with any of this stuff and not deal with anything. And I go, why? Why are you out? And you're like, well, I just feel like I need to help people, that are like us. And I go, yeah, but I mean, you could let's just like disappear into the blending into society, And so there was so much resentment when he would say something and he would like assert himself a certain way, and I would be like, just like, who does he think he is? Like, thinks he's better than everyone else, and I mean, that's kind of like my attitude. But when he does it now, I don't I don't feel it as being a character flaw. I feel it as being, yeah, this is who he is. He knows what he likes, he knows what he wants, he has a certain way of looking at life. He's old fashioned. He's not going to apologize to you for being old fashioned. He's going to be who he is. And that says a lot to me about his character, because lately there's been so many people who have said they were certain things and that they weren't. Like the guy from Venezuela,
Yeah.
for example, said he had all these great things, wonderful things in life and everything, and come to find out, probably scared of his own shadow. But Mark is who he is. He says what he says. He means what he means. He's passionate about what he believes at the time he believes it. Things can change.
Yeah. And they do.
And they do.
All right, guys, we're going to let you go because we got lots to do. And this is going to take forever to download now because it's an hour and something.
Yeah.
So, but
We have to cook.
yeah, we do. But I got to put it on 2 channels. Eventually, I'll stop putting stuff on Transition Radio. I just want to make sure that everybody goes over to Real Talk with the Cummings and subscribe, to that channel, share it, hit the notification button. If you enjoy our little videos here and you want to go ahead and tip us for the time that we do spend doing these videos, you could go to PayPal, or you could become a Patreon, and for as little as $5 a month, you can be supporting the channel.
We could go to Facebook.
You can go to Facebook, and you could directly send money there on Messenger. Just because you can, just because you want to gift us with either a bottle of wine or gift us with just anything that you feel that you want to gift us with by providing, a little donation. So just because.
Just because.
There's no,
Because you love us.
Yeah, that's right. All right, guys. We love you. But remember to always love yourselves too.